Hey, you guys, welcome to the Kern River Fly Shop Podcast Fishing Report. Today is Wednesday, November 15th, and I'm going to give you guys a little heads up on what's going on in the Kern River Valley river system and the Upper Kern, South Fork of the Kern, Lower Kern, and some of the creeks and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to start out with the forecast. It's actually really beautiful up here in Kernville. It's 61 degrees today, and we're getting a low of 47 degrees. 10-day forecast, we are expecting rain today, and it should go through into the night, but it's a small percentage. It's like 40 to 50%, so not sure what's going to happen there. But we are expecting a little bit of rain today and on Saturday coming up. So check the forecast before you come up and check it all out and see what's happening. We could change within a few days though. The flows on the Upper Kern and the fishing, I'm going to talk about that. The flows are 480 CFS. Awesome flow from the powerhouse, which is about 3 miles above the fly shop here, down to Kernville. The flows are about 480 CFS and really, really beautiful flows, really crystal clear water. If you go above the powerhouse, the flows are going to be in the 60 CFS, so big difference in the flows coming from Fairview Dam, which is up 15 miles from the powerhouse, all the way up there. The flows are going to be a lot lower. Once you go above the Fairview Dam, again, the CFS is going to be about 450 CFS in that zone. Fishing all in the 20-mile section. I get the question a lot from folks, what is the 20-mile section? Well, the 20-mile section is basically from Kernville up to the Johnsondale Bridge. It's a roadside section that gets fished the most. It's very popular with people who just want to stop along the road and hop down and do some fishing. A lot of the campgrounds are closed, like the Forest Service campgrounds are closed for the season, but you can park out those campgrounds and walk in and have a great time and do some really great fishing on the Upper Kern. Hatches, the hatch that we've been seeing the last week or so has kind of gotten a little bit smaller, and as well as the bugs have gotten smaller. So what I'm seeing out there are small blue wing olives in the size 18 to 22 range. Horrible, so small. And for us that have a challenge putting the tippet through those small little 22s, just hang in there, get that tippet through there and fish those really small flies. They're coming up and eating those. A little tip is use some emergers. If they're not coming up and eating those dry flies like the parachute style, go over to and start using a little emerger. Put a little bit of floatant on a little piece of emerger that's sticking above the water, and then have the body kind of sink below the surface when you're fishing that, and that could make or break your catching for the day. Just a little tip there. So definitely want to check that out. You can do a double dry, which is kind of cool. For those of us that can't see that little tiny 22 fly out there floating in the riffles, which is most of us, you could put a dry fly on there that you could see, and then from the bend of the hook, you tie on that little 22 dry fly, 18 or size 22 dry fly on the end there, and then you can kind of see where your fly is at. And if you see a splash, or if your bigger dry fly goes under, then you know that you're getting a grab. So that's a good little trick there. Other things that we're doing out there, we're doing dry flies, a bigger dry fly with a nymph dropper, some type of tungsten nymph. Get your fly down pretty quickly. A tip is that some of these fish are in shallow water, so make sure you're fishing some of that shallow water when you're fishing out there, and some of the riffles and runs are producing fish as well. Water temperature is about 45 degrees and getting up to about 50 degrees depending on what section you're in. It changes about 5 degrees or so, and so you can check that if you have a thermometer or something like that to see what the temperatures are. Typically, when temperatures get below 40 degrees on the Upper Kern, things start slowing way down. and the fishing starts slowing down because of the trout's metabolism. They start slowing down as soon as that water gets that cold. Once the water temperature gets up to that 45, 50 degrees and above that, up to 60 degrees, they're pretty active. So you can check that water temperature. If you're not catching any fish, you can check your temperature and go, oh man, it's 38 degrees, no wonder. So what happens on the upper Kern in the wintertime, as we go into wintertime in the January, February time frame, the best fishing, like it is right now as well, is during the middle of the day. So getting out there real early in the morning, the water temperature is going to be a little cooler, and the hatches are coming off a little bit later, in the afternoon, in the warmest part of the day. So the best fishing has been, in my opinion, in the middle of the day, when those fish are coming up and eating on the surface. You can catch them early in the morning, but the best fishing is going to be in the middle of the day during the hatches that are going on. So air temperatures, like I was saying, 60 degrees, roughly in that range. And other techniques you could use, you could of course do some streamer fishing if you wanted. And definitely when you're fishing a dry dropper, definitely swing those flies at the end of your drift. We've been picking up fish on the end of the swing when your nymph is coming up, your line is pulling tight and your nymph is coming up to the surface. They'll grab it on that swing at the end. And a lot of people don't fish that swing. They'll be done with their drift, and then they'll just pick up their fly and cast again. And every once in a while, just let it swing around and let it swing in front of those big rocks and see what happens. Kind of fun. Let's go down to the lower Kern. The lower Kern is a tailwater below Lake Isabella, and the flows down there are still too big, guys. Sorry about that. It's about 1,800 CFS down there. Flows that we like down there usually are between 300 and 400, somewhere in there, and lower than that. So we're not sure when we're going to see that flow come down because they're releasing so much water out of Isabella. And so we're just not fishing down there. We haven't even fished the lower Kern this whole year because of the flows have been too big. Still have a lot of water coming out, but they're letting a lot of water out of Lake Isabella. The lake has dropped dramatically, going from almost completely full, and now they're dropping the water to get ready for the next winter when water's going to be coming in. So they're releasing a lot of water right now, and it's dropped it down. Gosh, man, I want to say over 60 feet, I would say, but it's still pretty darn full. So it might be more than that, but I'm saying it's way down, and you can see it. It was all the way up to the road in some areas, the highway there, and now it's all the way down 60 feet below that. And people are still fishing Lake Isabella. Bass boats are out there around Rocky Point. They're in some of the coves, and some of the reports I'm getting from some of my friends who are bass folks, they are doing having a great time out there, and a few crappie in the mix as well. So that's kind of fun. That is Lake Isabella. So let's go back up the road and go over to the Johnsondale area. Johnsondale air temps, the same thing. They're like warming up to 60 degrees, but they're getting real low. They're getting down to 22 degrees at night, so that's pretty cold. If you keep going up the road to Ponderosa, they're looking at 52 degrees a high and a low of 35 degrees. And so, yeah, things are starting to kind of cool down, which is right on cue for sure. So the area up there, some of those creeks up there, they still have water. Haven't really been hearing too much about people fishing up in those creeks because we've been focusing so much on the beautiful looking upper Kern River, which is world class right now just for trout fishing. It's just unbelievable. So again, you could go up there and fish those creeks all up in those areas and have a good time, but the fishing on the upper Kern is just phenomenal. So we've been focusing more on that. If we go up and over to the Black Rock Ranger Station up the Sherman Pass, the Sherman Pass is getting really cold up there. And the Black Rock Ranger Station, they're having a high day of 53 degrees and a low of 26 degrees. So nighttime temps definitely dropping in some of the higher elevations. So you keep going past Black Rock Ranger Station on down the road towards Kennedy Meadows, and you're going to run into the South Fork of the Kern. And for all those people wondering where that is, it's about an hour and a half drive from the fly shop here over to the South Fork of the Kern, up and over the mountain there, over Sherman Pass and down. And the fishing over there is excellent, getting great reports over there, great dry fly fishing as well, and brown trout and golden trout, and you can have a great time fishing in that zone. If you guys haven't checked out our YouTube channel, definitely check out the YouTube channel, the Kern River Fly Shop YouTube channel, and make sure you subscribe on that channel. We have a cool thing going on right now. We have a new TV show called On the Fly with Guy, where I'm going to different destinations and fishing with different people, and then we end up going to a brewery. And if you guys would like to help out with that, we're trying to get our show on Waypoint TV as a series, and we have a River Butter page where you can donate if you want. We're giving away some guide trips, full day guide trip, half day guide trip, and a bunch of prizes and stuff. Raffle tickets are $7 if you want to donate. All those proceeds will go to the show and us producing 5 more shows for Waypoint TV. So definitely check that out, you guys. Really appreciated all the folks that have donated so far and contributed to us furthering our show. If you want to check out the On the Fly with Guy show, go to our YouTube channel. It's On the Fly with Guy 4x4 Adventure, episode number 1, and we're getting lots of great feedback from that, so very much appreciated, you guys. I think that's about it. Don't forget about our fly fishing school, which we have the fly fishing the surf class coming up on November 25th in Ventura. That's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. If you guys are interested in that, we'll be over in Ventura doing the surf clinic. We have a beginner clinic up here on that same Saturday if people want to learn how to fly fish and have a nice class and get updated on what we're doing up here and that sort of thing. Beginner fly fishing clinic number 1, that's what we're doing. We also have a fly tying class that evening here in Kernville. And yeah, that's it. Just go to kernriverflyshop.com to sign up for any of those classes. Make sure to check out that YouTube channel, like I said before, you guys, and subscribe. Thanks again for listening to the Kern River Fly Shop podcast. This is Guy Jeans. I'll talk to you guys next week.
This episode is brought to you by Kern River Fly Shop, located in the beautiful river town of Kernville, California. The Kern River Fly Shop is a fully stocked fly shop for all your fly fishing needs, and everything is online too at kernriverflyshop.com. The Kern River Fly Shop also offers guided trips throughout the Southern Sierra and Sequoia National Forest, both for cold water and warm water species. Kern River Fly Shop also offers guided trips on the Owens River and Crowley Lake in the Eastern Sierra. Don't forget about their guided fly fishing in the surf from Morro Bay to Ventura, California. Also, check out the Guy Jeans School of Fly Fishing. They offer fly fishing clinics for beginners to advanced students. They also offer warm water, cold water, and saltwater clinics as well. Go to kernriverflyshop.com to check everything out and get some great discount offers. kernriverflyshop.com